Chemical weapons are a type of weapons that use toxic or chemical substances, and their main purpose is to harm, disable, or kill living organisms. The first time it was documented the use of chemical weapons was in Rome, and Romans were using toxic gas against the aristocrats. In World War I, the first time a chemical weapon has been used in a massive way. In World War I, more than 3% of the world's population died because of a chemical weapon, which was phosgene. And phosgene has only been used since World War I. The main structure of this is oxygen, carbon, and chloro. Moving on to World War II, the chemical weapon used back then was gas chambers. Gas chambers were first used in Nevada in 1920 in the U.S. to punish people for murder. But then in 1942, it was used by Nazis against Jews. Gas chambers are usually a closed-up room where they put toxic gas or suffocating gas. Zyklon B was the type of gas that was very commonly used. This gas would get into the lungs and block the cell respiration. And still in some states in the U.S., they use gas chambers to sentence somebody by murder. After those two unfortunate events, humanity still used chemical weapons. In the Vietnamese World War, they used Agent Orange to take Vietnamese soldiers down in the woods. Agent Orange was the first test in Fort Detrick in New York. This chemical weapon was caused a lot of damage. This chemical can cause cancer and severe damage to the environment for decades. The effects that this chemical caused in the Vietnamese War was that more than 100,000 kids were born with malformation. The reason why this chemical weapons is so deadly is because the main component is deonics. This chemical is usually used as pesticide. Now moving on to 1980s, where the Iran-Iraq war was happening. In this war, VX was used for the second time in history by Iraq and Iran. This chemical is famous because it can do little and a lot. This chemical can inhale, ingest, or absorb by skin. The effects are burning, dizzy, convulsions, and death. How this chemical works is that it stops the muscle. The last time this chemical was used was in 2017 by North Korea. It was used against Kim Jong-un, the dictator's older sibling.
So hi, today I'm interviewing Ms. Mingarelli. So, what's your opinion about chemical weapons?
My opinion about chemical weapons is that in a volatile political world climate, it's dangerous for them to continue to be developed because you don't know whose hands they could fall into.
Oh, okay. And do you think it's okay for countries to have chemical weapons for self-defense?
Honestly, I think that my same answer from the first one applies. I think any country that develops that technology creates a danger that it could fall into the hands of people who would misuse it.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
Chemical weapons are an inhumane way to kill. It can affect a whole generation by children with malfunctions, people dying, and the environment destroyed. This was my video about chemical weapons. Thanks for watching.